Hi, I'm Marty Levinson, and welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
For the identity of the real Marty Levinson, please stay tuned for the Northtown News Magazine.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to that lemon light city, sweet hope, Chicago. 2 is 4, 4 4 6. Come on, baby, now get your business fixed. Come on.
Hi there, I'm the real Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine show with the greatest cameraman around, Sonny Hirsch, and your host, Avi Myers.
Thank you, Marty. Avi Myers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. Dial us up on the web at www.ntnm.org. Jewish Chicago is on the streets. We've got a full judicial review, full reviews on all the elections. 3,691 words in the presidential race, including, and the entire issue actually is 13,148 words, and a lot of writing, but it was enjoyable. So we hope you'll pick it up. If you can't find it on the street, if it's already gone, and it's going to be going in a lot of places, please check us out online at www.aviworld.com, which, by the way, I got from the old Wally World movie with Chevy Chase. I just thought it was a cool name. In any event, it is a pleasure to have the three-term, running for a fourth term, Clerk of the Circuit Court of Cook County, Dorothy Brown. How you doing?
I'm wonderful, wonderful. How are you?
Good to see you.
Good to be here.
And tell us, how's the campaign going?
Campaign's going wonderful. We're just working hard, going all around the county, letting people know the things that we've done in the office and our plans for continuing to improve the office.
No, that sounds good. I know that you were in the forefront of the Illinois Integrated Justice Information System.
Absolutely, yes, and we're continuing to work on that. As a result of my chairing that particular initiative, if you will, the state's attorney has a new system. Also, the public defender is putting in a system. The sheriff implemented a system. So we really brought to bear up-to-date technology, not just for the clerk of the court, but for many of the public safety entities within Cook County.
Very good. Now, is everything computerized at this stage, or are they giving you enough money to do that? Or
Well, of course, at this point, we'd like to even upgrade even more. We're looking for the Supreme Court Justice to approve electronic filing, to have it expanded to other parts of our case management system. Of course, we have it in the commercial litigation section of the law division, but we want to expand it. And I did receive a letter from the Chief Justice, which I was very happy, and he indicates to me that he's looking at expanding it, but what he wants to do, and he stopped all pilots for electronic filing throughout the entire state, not just mine, and he indicated that he wants to actually have approved electronic access to documents. In other words, being able to permit people to see documents on the internet, the actual electronic image on the internet, along with while he approved electronic filing. So since that's not quite done yet, he's holding off on approving the expansion of electronic filing. Because I guess when he implements electronic filing, he wants us to also be able to put those documents out on the internet so people can see them.
that would be very cool. I mean, whatever I've been able to do on the internet so far. Thank God I haven't had to deal with your office much because I just haven't been arrested lately. So.
Well, that's always a nice thing, not to have to deal with my office.
Yeah.
I think we have a great group of judges that are up for retention right now, and I know you've had some on, and I'm certainly in support of them.
No, that sounds great. And by the way, I want you to. Our next segment, by the way, is going to include. There are 9 highest rated retention judges, and I've got 2 of them coming up in the next segment, Judge Moshe Jacobius and Judge Stuart Palmer, and I want to thank Ace Pyramid Ed McElroy for making all the arrangements.
Absolutely, and Ed McElroy is a phenomenal individual.
He really is.
And Judge Jacobius and Palmer are great guys, gentlemen too.
For sure. Now let me ask you, how are the budget cuts? I mean, you basically used to have like about 2,200 employees. Now you got 1,800.
Actually, we had 2,300 employees, so it's continuing to go down. It is hurting us. I actually met with the Bar Association presidents and the law firms that file the highest number of cases in our court system to let them know what's going on from the standpoint of the budget and the fact as to why the lines are long and that sort of thing, from the standpoint of the reduction in staff and how that continues to hurt us. The American Bar Association has actually done a white paper, and many experts have done articles about how hurting or reducing the budget of court systems really affects people's access to justice. And so this year we've actually had to delete positions out of our budget that were vacant. We didn't have to lay anyone off. Not yet. I mean, I will be making my budget presentation on October 31st, but so far we haven't been asked to lay anyone off, but we have been asked to delete positions, which we should have been able to fill.
Yeah. I know that there's a lot going on that way, and I know also that Anita Alvarez doesn't feel she's fully staffed, and Tom Dart. And by the way, this isn't a recent conversation. If somebody's watching and thinks I'm starting to make trouble for him, but and Tom Dart also, doesn't have as many people as he used to, and it's very difficult when you've got the second largest court system in the country,
That's right.
and you've got a jail that's teeming with all sorts of interesting people.
Absolutely. and we were already understaffed, comparatively speaking, to LA County and Harris County in Texas and even Maricopa County in Arizona. I did the analysis. My office was already understaffed, so to cut it even more means that we're even worse off. And some people think that technology is the answer, but most of the things that the Supreme Court has put in place in years past required us to keep a dual system, both the electronic filing, if you will, and have a paper file for the documents. And so until something occurs in that regard where we're not having to keep the antiquated paper system alongside the electronic system, we will still need the same number of people, if not more.
Yeah, wow. So yeah, things aren't so simple. By the way, it can't be easy either to run an office that large.
It is not. It is not, actually. And to have, even at this point in which it is now, and I have 17 different locations, and as you said, 1,900 employees, and it's very challenging. I have to draw upon my background really as a certified public accountant and the experience I received from working with various clients and looking at operational efficiencies of those clients. And I draw upon my legal background, of course, as well. But I draw upon all of my private sector experience in order to run this. And I also send myself to various additional trainings. I've gone to the Kennedy School of Government at Harvard.
Really?
And yes, and I've taken
I left that out in the paper because I know you were a CPA, an MBA, and a lawyer.
Yes, but I went for a week, for a class, a course that they had on efficiency in government. And so I don't put that on my resume since it was just a week. If I had gotten a certificate, I mean, they give you a little certificate. If I had gotten a degree from there, then yes, then it would have been something to put on there. But still, I've gone there, and I've been able to adopt some of those methodologies that they've discussed. I've gone to Kennedy School of Government as well as other places to learn. I send my staff around the country to various places to learn best practices. My chief financial officer is right now at a revenue conference on how to raise revenue for governments, and so and court systems specifically, and that's why we've been able to turn the actual budget upside down, where when I took office the appropriations were higher than the revenue, and now the revenue is higher than expenses.
Wow, that helps.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a very, very challenging situations. Of course, I also have at least 90% of my staff are union. So I have to deal with union issues. We just signed the new collective bargaining agreement, and so that requires a certain amount of expertise and tactfulness, and really dealing with the union issues and making sure that we are adhering to and complying with the collective bargaining agreement while we get the work done as well.
Wow. Yeah, unions can be, well, I never had to deal with it. I mean, when I had a larger business, I used to pay everybody union wages, and that was my trade, to not have a union.
Sometimes that works. But I'm a strong proponent of unions. Both my parents at one point in their lives actually were in a union. My father early on, he was a laundry worker at the particular plant where he was, but he was able to be a part of a union, and he was actually a union steward. And I actually got an opportunity as a high schooler to write union grievances for him, because my father was not an educated man, and he needed help. And he would come home, he would explain to me or my sister, Juanita, what happened, and we would write the grievances up for him so he could take them back. And that gave me a sense of the kind of things that were going on and going wrong in employment situations, and that really gave me an affinity to really want to help people and not treat people inappropriately myself as an employer.
Wow. I was only in one union, and that was in high school. I was in the Andy Frayne Ushers Union when I worked at Wrigley Field in the stadium. The problem was that the head of the Andy Frayne Ushers Union was Mickey Frayne.
Was that a son?
That was, well, actually, I think Andy had passed away, and there were two brothers running it.
Okay.
So one brother ran the company, the other brother ran the union. I still remember working 7 hours on a doubleheader and taking home $8.
So you got one brother running the company and one brother running the union, so they didn't necessarily negotiate for the employees very well, I would say.
No, I didn't stay there very long. I mean, it was great to see the games for free. I let that be my reward. But that was about it. So you got a website?
I do. friendsofdorothybrown.org. You can certainly go to my website, sign up to volunteer. You can actually donate on my website as well. So www.friendsofdorothybrown.org. My punch number is 53, and I always tell people to vote for me.
Vote for
Punch
me.
53.
You've always got a rhyme, that I know.
That was an easy one this time,
Okay, that's cool. Well, I will point out that you are endorsed by Jewish Chicago.
Thank you very much.
And also by the Northtown News magazine.
Absolutely.
And you know what? As long as I did those things, I might just punch 53. You never know.
All right.
In any event, I don't know if I said it on the air or not, but I did want to say, Enzo Ranieri, I want to thank you very much for all the work you've done with me and getting everything straight and all the rest of it. And it's great working with you. And, it's always bothered me. I'm not going to get into too much, but it's always the Tribune endorsements and the Tribune stuff about you has just really bothered me. Not just about you, but about a lot of other people too. The way they've dealt outstanding people like Terry O'Brien and all the rest of it. Sometimes I don't think they're even looking at what's going on. It just really bothers me beyond belief. And, I think they ought to take the lead from the Sun-Times and stop endorsing people.
That would not be a bad idea.
I know you wouldn't mind.
Absolutely. Because most of them, it's subjective and biased, unfortunately. And people, some people take them at heart, and it's unfortunate. But, I have just decided that the important thing is for me to know myself and also to communicate to the public. And my actions speak louder than words and louder than those words that they put on paper. I have worked hard over the years. We have done a phenomenal job, and I say we because my staff, I did not do it by myself, in bringing that office into the 21st century and providing good customer service, operational efficiency, and making that office run in the most efficient and effective manner. And if someone did what I've done to the budget, in turning around and turning an office into black from the negative, they'd probably be getting a crown from organizations, because that shows fiscal responsibility.
Well, I'd say more about how unthorough the Tribune process is for endorsing candidates, but really out of time. And so her punch number is 53. Dorothy Brown, she's running for election for a 4th term as clerk of the circuit court. We wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Be well.